Founding days of America, there was a partnership, citizen and officer. They were one and the same. But that mentality began to change during the Progressive Era, and largely thanks to one man, August Vollmer. He was famous all over the world as a lawman above lawmen who changed policing for the better. Academics revere him. So, who is he? And how did he change American law enforcement? Well, Vollmer was born to immigrants from Germany in New Orleans. Eventually, his family settled down in Berkeley, California. He was just another face in the crowd. But in 1904, that would all change. He happened upon a railway train. There was a car rolling down the tracks unattended. It was heading directly for a coach car filled with commuters. August ran off in pursuit of the train. As the entire town looked on, he managed to catch up to the train, jump on board, grab the brakes, and he stopped it just in time to save scores of lives. Well, now he was a local hero. The notoriety propelled him to the position of town marshal. He didn't have much experience, but he did have a military background. And so he began structuring the Berkeley, California police in exactly the same way the Marine Corps was structured. He was the first to give police officers a military rank structure and designated military-style uniforms.
They started to use and look to the military as a way of organizing a police force. So they would have uniforms, and they would have military rankings, captain, major, that sort of thing. That's where we begin to see the beginnings of the modern police force.
The door now was opened in exactly the direction the founders warned against. This was all happening at the dawn of the Progressive Era, where they were pushing eugenics and other scientific methods at prominent universities. Woodrow Wilson himself was president of Princeton University during this time, and like most progressives, August Vollmer believed only educated men and women were good. He started issuing IQ tests before hiring officers. The policeman's job is the highest calling in the world. The men who will do that job should be the finest men. They should be the best educated. They should be college graduates. That's what a policeman should be. And what are they? Dumbbells. Vollmer's ideas came largely from Europe. Criminology textbooks from Austria and France were used in America's first police school. He created one of the first centralized police record systems in 1906. There were fingerprints, blood, and other samples that were stored. He was the first to hook people up to a lie detector and use that to determine guilt. His star began to rise, and in 1907, he was elected president of the California Association of Police Chiefs. Vollmer's criminal justice methods were now made into a college degree at the University of California and spread to all universities all over the country. His methods utilizing military rank structure, uniforms, the scientific method, and university-level education were highly sought after. But he wasn't finished. He instituted the first motorized patrols. This is where the first real disconnect between police officers and the community began to creep in. Before Vollmer, law enforcement officers were part of the community and the local neighborhood that they helped to protect. They patrolled the streets on foot and quite often lived amongst those that they served. Now, officers with military ranks and uniforms responded to calls from outside of the community, rolling in on police cars and motorcycles. They were outsiders. Some felt protected, some